Aína Camúla, a dtíine úsle fáilte roimh chuig an grúna seo ag an bhunfar gradam Foglamóirí na Institute. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this meeting at which awards will be conferred on learners of this institute. Siad bháil an party an láthair atá I láthair agin ar an áidir ná. The members of our conferring party on the platform from your left to right are Dr. Des Foley, Head of School of Science and Computing, Councillor Michael Maher, Gmit Governing Body, Dr. Orla Flynn, President of Gmit, and Dr. Michael Hannon, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Registrar. I now call on Dr. Orla Flynn, President, to formally welcome you.
Gormagat Eugene, Díomh is Misha Orla Nilain Uachtarán in Institute Technoliacht in the Galway-Mayo. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all here this morning. Those of you who are with us and those of you who are joining online, I want to salute you firstly, our graduating students, our graduands this morning, and I want to thank all of those who have supported you throughout your educational journey. These are just a few, very brief words of welcome. This is not a year like every other year, but we're grateful to be able to present you with your parchments and again to thank you for your efforts and for your studies and your commitment over the last couple of years. As a higher educational institution, we really only have three things to do. We admit students, we conduct programs of studies that lead to awards, and we confer you with your award at the end. And those are our three important duties. I also want to thank the hotel for hosting the event on our behalf, and I want to thank the organising committee, to Adele and all the team that are behind this. So that's it, Sinead, we'll get on with the proceedings. Gormaguibh.
I call on Dr. Michael Hannon, Registrar, to confirm that learners of the Institute have achieved the standards determined for national awards.
Iram an Dr. Orla Nilain, Uachtarán na Institute, Gradam a Bhrunna na Céimithe, atá cortha I láthair ag an Institute. President, I present to you the graduates who have successfully completed programs in the School of Science and Computing who are worthy of national awards, and I request you to present their parchments to them. I now call upon Dr. Orla Flynn, President of the Institute, to read the conferring statement on Formula Vrunta.
The bhua an údarás atá díolsithe an Institute Technoliacht in the Galway-Mayo, Brunam gradam chéimithe na Institute atá tar éis an chaidán dlíte den na gradam sin a bhaintach. By virtue of the authority vested in Galway-Mayo Institute of Technology, I hereby confer awards on the graduates of the Institute who have achieved the standards determined for those awards.
Can I ask the graduates of Higher Certificate in Science and Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science to stand and receive their applause, or to apply? Bachelor of Science in Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science, I call on Dr. Orla Slattery to present the graduates. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science, I call on Dr. Mary McMahon to present the graduates.
Roisin Corsi, Mairead Dineen, Rachel Dolan, Jason Doyle, Hannah Einstein, Claire Fennell, Mairead Flanagan, Kieran Fox, Shane Fox, Anna Fox, Anna Frisbee, Anya Gallagher, Casey Gannon, Nicola Gill, Kieran Gahan, Anna Gill, May Gregg, Michelle Handley, Kieran Harn, Rachel Hughes, Enya Kavanagh, Robert Kearns, Owen Kirby, Paulina Lissac, Lorcan Lina, Ruth Loins, Zoe May, Andrew McCarthy, Aoife McDonough, Lorraine McKeown, Amber McManus, Rachel McNeilis, Abdul Momo, Amanda Mulcair, Pauline Mullins, Michaela O'Connor, Owen O'Donovan, Kevin O'Halloran, Eve O'Kelly, Emer O'Looney, Kaylee O'Sullivan Nolan, Callum Porter, James Quinn, Eilish Renahan, Jack Skerritt, Emma Stone, Preeti Varghese, Darlene Villison, can I ask the graduates of Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science to stand to receive their applause?
Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Biology. Apologies now, I lost my track there. That big round of applause, which is great. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Biopharmaceutical and Healthcare Science. I call on Dr. Mary McMahon to present the graduates.
Evangelista Isida. Can I ask the graduate of Bachelor of Science Honours in Biopharmaceutical and Healthcare Science to stand to receive their applause?
Bachelor of Science Honours in Medical Science. I call on Dr. Eleanor Rainsford to present the graduates.
Carol Casey, Adele Crehan, Adam Dempsey, Zara Brady, Dea Mariam Ebby, Oisin Finn, Nicole Gately, Aveen Gorman, Danny Harper, Mayan Yan Leng, Lisa McLeod, Ryan McGinty, Lisa McNabola, Megan Morris, Jessica Mullery, Leisha Nocton, Siobhan Ioannin, Fiacre Nolan, Sarah Jane O'Connor, Moira O'Dea, Ellen O'Donnell, Orla O'Donnell, Rachel Phillips, Maeve Quinlan, Vincent Shaughnessy, Can I ask the graduates of the Bachelor of Science Honours in Medical Science to stand for their applause?
Higher Diploma in Science in Advanced Analytical Chemistry, I call on Dr. Cormac Quigley to present the graduates.
Aideen Bradshaw, Liam Connolly, Mary Skerritt, Jason Slattery. Can I ask for a round of applause for the graduates of the Higher Diploma in Science in Advanced Analytical Chemistry?
Higher Diploma in Science in Medical Technology Regulatory Affairs, I call on Carmen McGrath to present the graduates.
Louise Allen, Guna Berzina, Bojana Kalik, Bojana Kalik, Anya Cooley, Michal Craven, Hilary Cronin, Niamh Curtin, Sinead Foran, Malik Haider, Sean Hannafy, Emma Horan, Rachel McDade, Grace McGarry, Antoinette McGee, Michelle McLaughlin, Helena Sweeney, Marion Murphy, Janice O'Gorman, Paula Prendergast, Virgil C. Baluk, Shweta Shivakumar, Lorna Sweetman, Yvonne Thomas, and Robin Tighton. Can I please ask the class of the Higher Diploma in Science in Medical Technology Regulatory Affairs to stand for their round of applause, please? Thank you.
Postgraduate Diploma in Science in Advanced Biopharmaceutical Science, I call on Dr. Mary McMahon to present the graduates.
Maria Balan, Megan Davern, Eilish Delaney, Tanya Herity, Michael Howley, Lorna Kelly, Connor Larkin, Hannah McEllen, Sinead McNee, Albert Navas Diaz, Victor Pina, Paul Sasia, Joanna Sheehan, Darren Walsh. Can I ask the graduates of Postgraduate Diploma in Science in Advanced Biopharmaceutical Science to stand to receive their applause?
Degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Elena Pagter. I call on Dr. Fiona Kavanagh to present Elena Pagter and her thesis.
I have the honour to present Elena Pagter for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. The subject of her thesis is Microplastics in Galway-Bay, an ecosystem-based approach. Microplastics are one of the most pervasive types of anthropogenic pollution today. Classified by their size and production intent, they are now known to be ubiquitous in the marine environment and can be easily introduced to and ingested through the food web due to their prevalence and small size. To better understand the distribution and abundance of microplastics on these environmental matrices, Elena took an innovative approach to establish large-scale baselines using a coastal embayment as a case study. Her thesis recorded the current levels for microplastics in multiple environmental matrices in Galway Bay. The abundance and characteristics of microplastics was explored for both faunal communities and sediments throughout the bay. Elena postulated that an ecosystem-based approach would give a better indication of the level of microplastic pollution in the area, and her results confirmed that non-commercial species should now be considered an important component when monitoring for microplastics. Furthermore, her results also showed that the community composition of invertebrates in the sediment can have an impact on the levels of microplastics recorded, suggesting that both environmental matrices, sediment and fauna, need to be considered jointly when assessing abundances within a benthic ecosystem. Finally, Elena identified hotspots in the bay that could be targeted to help monitor any future mitigation introduced to reduce the spread of microplastics. The outcome of Elena's research is very timely, as it is informing the current policymakers planning for future monitoring of microplastics around Ireland, with European policymakers considering sediment as a key environmental matrix to target. While the banning of primary microplastics are in place or imminent across several countries, innovative practices, such as applying an ecosystem-based approach to an area, as highlighted here, are needed to provide a more accurate image of the levels of secondary microplastics in the marine environment. The knowledge gained from this research is key to ensuring future healthy, sustainable oceans. Elena's supervisors of research include Dr. Roisin Nash, Dr. Fiona Kavanagh, and Dr. João Frias, all GMIT. I now have the great honour of presenting Dr. Elena Pagter to you.
Now we come to the GMIT Academic Achievement Awards and Special Awards. I call on Dr. Des Foley, Head of School of Science and Computing, to present the candidates.
I will now call the candidates for the GMIT Academic Achievement Awards and Special Awards. Academic Achievement Awards are presented to the highest achieving students in their chosen programme of study. These awards will be presented by Dr. Michael Hannon, Registrar. Could I now please ask the recipients to come to the top of the room? Bachelor of Science in Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science, the award goes to Natalie Scott. Bachelor of Science Honours in Applied Biology and Biopharmaceutical Science, the award goes to Nicola Gill. Bachelor of Science Honours in Medical Science, Zara H. Brady. Okay, and Zara, to stay where you are there, because the Institute of Biomedical Science President's Prize BSc Honours in Medical Science also goes to Zara Brady.
I now call on Dr. Michael Hannon, Registrar, to announce the GMIT President's Award for Teaching Excellence.
The President's Award for Teaching Excellence recognises and celebrates teaching of a particularly high standard. This year there are 4 recipients, one of whom is being recognised here today. I'm pleased to announce Dr. Etienne Kiley as a recipient of the President's Award for Teaching Excellence. And unfortunately, Etienne is not able to be with us today, but nonetheless we're going to hear the citation in her honour that will now be read by Dr. Cormac Quigley.
I am absolutely delighted to be standing here to have the honour of delivering the citation for Dr. Etienne Kiley, one of this year's recipients of the President's Award for Teaching Excellence. Many of you in this room will know Etienne, having either been a student and seen her inspirational teaching, or will be a colleague and will know how she lifts the mood and the standards of all those around her. I'd like to give a little bit of a background as to why she was nominated for the prize and why I think she's a really worthy recipient of the prize. A number of years ago, we were lucky enough that Etienne joined us from IT Sligo. When she joined us from IT Sligo, she was already an accomplished lecturer. She had supervised many master's students, a PhD student. She was a published author. She was delivering workshops in universities and other organisations around the country. And we can't be certain that the TU process wasn't started by IT Sligo to try and get her back. But she was already an impressive lecturer, and when she started, she brought that to GMIT. Over the last number of years, working with first years in the School of Science, I've seen the kind of feedback that comes back from those students. And originally, when she started, she used to teach every first year in the entire School of Science and Computing first year maths, which is hundreds of students. And yet she would still get feedback talking about how her maths mindset approach changed the way students approach studying maths. It changed their level of confidence with maths when they realised what they needed to develop was skills rather than seeing maths as, and forgivably seeing maths as possibly a very boring and uninteresting subject. And instead students talked about how they were more confident and how they were less anxious about maths and how they could apply their maths skills. And that in turn was reflected in how students progressed through first year and on through their degrees. Of course, it would be unfair to talk about that and not mention the anxiety caused by students who used to get 9 out of 10 in their Moodle quizzes and be very upset that they really needed that 10 out of 10. But aside from her teaching in the classroom, she's also a fantastic colleague. And having spoken to some of her colleagues over the last few days, and of course over the last few years, some of them new, some of them not so new, the feedback is universal. She is a really generous person when it comes to sharing how to teach and what she does in the classroom. She is always looking at the latest new technology and the latest ways to engage students, but at the same time not losing focus on the idea that the students are people who need to learn math skills. And she is always willing to share. And new members of staff talk about how she is so generous in giving them, and as new members have joined to take over the different areas of maths as the School of Science has grown over the last years, how she has been selfless in sharing what she does so that they can build on her work. But also members of staff who are here a longer time also describe how she is a joy to work with. In fact, her office mates wouldn't be without their office tech support. Anyway, myself, having worked with Etienne over the last 6 years on various projects, analytics and otherwise, I know that she is always looking at the students. It can be really easy when presented with a class of 200, 300 or 400 students to get lost in the numbers, but she is always bringing it back to individual student success. And she also brings it to work outside the classroom. Projects like her STEM analytics through inclusive outdoor play and sensors technology, where she is trying to bring maths into playgrounds in Galway, or leading her maths education research group, or having her students develop assessment trackers or transition to college life apps using Power Apps. All of these things, as well as publishing, continuing to publish case studies, book chapters, confirm why she is a worthy recipient of this year's President's Award. As Michael said, she can't be here with us today to receive the award, but nonetheless I would ask you all to join me in giving her a large round of applause to celebrate what I think is a worthy award for excellent work.
I now call upon Sarah Brady, graduate representative, to address the meeting.
So good morning, fellow graduates, family members, lecturers and staff of GMIT. It's a pleasure to be here with you at GMIT Science Graduation 2021. My name is Sarah Brady and I'm a graduate of the GMIT Medical Science Programme class of 2021. It's a privilege to be invited to speak to you all today on behalf of my fellow graduates. You can tell by looking around the room at all the happy faces our life at GMIT for the past 4 years is one to remember. From attaining knowledge and skills that will be used for our future careers to forming friendships that will last a lifetime. The opportunity GMIT has offered us all are endless, and we now have what it takes to embark on our journey as scientists or to further research in our fields. I know the BSc in Medical Science programme has equipped us well with a trip to the University Hospital Laboratory in Galway in first year, a 27-week clinical laboratory placement in third year, and laboratory-based research project in fourth year. So I'm confident as a GMIT graduate, we're well prepared to face any challenges over the course of our careers. Many classmates of mine have secured their jobs, others have followed the path of research, and some are continuing their studies in an MSc course or postgraduate course. A special thanks has to go out to all the staff at GMIT, clerical, lecturers, support staff, as without their support and guidance, we would never have reached our potential. I know I speak for everyone graduating here today when I say we are so grateful for the top quality lecturers that we have seen in GMIT. All of the lecturers have been nothing but supportive, encouraging and hard-working, trying to help students reach their potential and succeed. It's quite rare to find such good quality lecturers, however GMIT has them in abundance. I remember when I was telling a friend of mine that goes to a different college that I was going to email one of my lecturers for a reference, and she replied, "Don't bother, they won't even know who you are." However, as the class sizes are so small, not only do you know your lecturers, but your lecturers also know you, and not only as a name or a number on an exam, but as a person. That's one of the things that is unique to GMIT and made it so special. So I'd like to say thank you to all the lecturers in the science department. Special thanks has to go to our parents and family members. I know I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the help and support of my parents. Thank you for believing in us, encouraging us, giving us the tools needed to equip us for what the future holds. So class 2021, after 4 long years and a global pandemic, we did it. We can finally call ourselves graduates of GMIT. All the hard work we have put in over the past few years has been worth it, and we should all be extremely proud, as it wasn't easy. Today is a day to remember our time at GMIT and celebrate our achievements and hard work. I'm sure most of us remember walking to GMIT on the first day of first year, not having a clue what to expect. Back then, I would have never believed that the last 4 years would go by so quickly. It's been a privilege to be on this journey at GMIT with you all, and I wish you all the best in the years to come and look forward to our path crossing again soon. So congratulations to the class of 2021. We have certainly earned a celebration tonight. Thank you for listening.
This concludes the meeting for the purpose of conferring awards on the students of Galway-Mayo Institute of Technology for this session. Before the procession, there's a number of announcements I have to make, and I want to remind the graduates to remain in place for the photographs of class groups, special awards recipients and sponsors, which will be taken at the stage immediately after the ceremonies. Please exit the graduation hall via the glass doors on the back right of the room immediately after the class photographs have been taken. Photography studios are located across the courtyard, and on exiting, turn right and cross the courtyard where student ambassadors will direct you. Please also ensure you remove all personal belongings as you leave. I would also like you to join me in thanking the musicians, Soundpost, who provided the wonderful music here today. And finally, can I request the audience to stand while the conferring party, academic staff and special guests leave the hall.